Hi, I'm Sil Reynolds.
And I'm Eliza Reynolds, and this is We Thrive TV. On-the-go answers from the ultimate mother-daughter dynamic duo.
That's us. And every other week, we answer your questions, moms.
So, this week, we're talking about how do you have a positive relationship with technology, specifically personal technology, right? Like cell phones, laptops, they link us up to so much in the world, right? There can be this amazing positive tool that you're probably hearing in the world of teenagers and definitely in the world of mother-daughter relationships, along with other relationships, but here we're talking about mother-daughter. They can sometimes get in the way. They can sometimes distract us, and there can be a lot of fear-mongering about tech and technology and how it shows up in our lives. So we wanted to set the record straight and dive into how to actually have a positive relationship with these tools of personal technology, because the bottom line is they're not going anywhere. They're here to stay. So how can we have a relationship with them that actually works?
Yeah, mothering in a digital age, and particularly when we moms didn't grow up with it.
Not technology natives.
That's right, technology natives. And it's interesting, before we dive into that, I know we laugh about it, but it's really common for moms to feel insecure around, relatively, around technology compared with their daughters,
who are so savvy,
who
naturally.
Are native. And it's. I remember listening to a talk once where this man was saying, hey, in the old days, we taught the young how to milk the cows, and we taught them, we were the wisdom of the elders, and it's this bizarre reversal.
Wow, yeah.
Where you guys are the experts, and we have this kind of insecurity, or, we're also navigating something that you guys are expert at. We really respect you for it.
But it's really changing the dynamic, and that's new. And that's that's such a huge piece. And moms, maybe you're pretty tech savvy, which is super awesome. And yet what I'm betting is that things are changing so fast, right? The newest apps, the newest ways for preteens and teens and older to, if your daughter's older, to engage and to connect.
Even
it's
you
changing
find,
month by month.
Right? In working with preteen and teen girls, now that you're 25, you're watching.
I have to stay hip.
Give an example. Give it what's changed for you in 10 years.
Yeah, so Facebook was this big novel thing when I was, preteen teen. It was like, oh my God, we have this thing called MySpace, if you remember that. MySpace, Facebook was like, whoa, big deal. Then there was Twitter. And what's becoming more and more I'm seeing, and I'm having to catch up to, is things like Snapchat, or there's even faster, and it really does focus in, on your local culture, often the local high school culture or middle school culture of what's the new thing, what's the new way to communicate. But, for example,
amongst peers, and then how do we moms,
understand the rules of those engagements? Like, how do they communicate? Snapchat is just through photos, but then, and they're fleeting, they disappear after a certain number of seconds, but then you can take a screenshot of them, you can take a picture, so they actually, in some ways, it can be kind of dangerous, because something that's supposed to be fleeting then becomes saved forever. So that's just one example of a whole world that's really a new and different way of communicating. And
worrisome for us moms, around safety, around knowledge. We're trying to keep up in so many ways, and in this regard, it's our job as the adult in the relationship and as the more mature, developed human to make time for the relationship, and to always remember that social media and tech is absolutely never a replacement for a real relationship.
Yeah, so I think that's one of the first things to know, moms, about how to have a more positive relationship with technology, is that we want to make it a tool and not a replacement for real connection. And that's real connection being when we're in the same room, when we're really present with each other. Like, we're relational beings. And just the research shows again and again that while technology can do some really cool stuff, cell phones, FaceTime is awesome, being in real time together in the same place, like just that there's no replacement. Our bodies, our brains pick it up differently.
Yeah, our relational brains, sometimes called the limbic brain, is actually, they've shown in research that even being on the phone with our daughters and hearing the voice lights up those relational centers in the brain in a way that texting could never do.
Yeah. So don't get caught up in the illusion, right? Sometimes we can get, oh wow, we're connecting, we're talking, that's, via text, so great. Good sometimes, and we also want to balance it out. So I think really one of the biggest things that you can do as a mom is to model it, is to live by example. What's your relationship to technology? How are you setting boundaries with yourself, where there's really specific usage times for when you're on your devices and when you're not, so that there's also a spaciousness to letting technology be a tool that has a specific time and place, and then it's not around the rest of the time. And when you model that, and when you're living that and figuring out your relationship to technology, then it's going to be much easier for you to set boundaries with your daughter around that, help her learn, which might be a little bit harder for her, how to set those safe boundaries and those healthy boundaries, because you're living it, you're modeling it, and you know how important it is in your life.
Right, and you're setting a gold standard. In other words, if your daughter gets used to real relationship and knows in her body and in her soul and in her emotional experience what it is to really have quality time in person, then the relationships she establishes via text just aren't going to be as satisfying to her. And so those kind of lazy, two-dimensional relationships that are only online, she'll have a built-in alert system.
Well, she'll have the learned experience in her body. It's like when we've learned that, like, what relating feels like in person, like, hi, other creature, then that becomes the norm of what feels good.
Yeah.
And
contact.
It's harder then to get caught up in that illusion of, oh my God, connecting with all these people, we're friends on Facebook, versus friend, relationship, limbic connection.
Real intimacy.
Yeah, real connection. And so really we're suggesting boundaries around usage, and also that mom, if the terrain is changing around social media, around internet in your house, really getting educated yourself in the ways you can, so that more and more, even though you might not be a native to the technological landscape, that you more and more do become literate as part of your way of supporting your girl and being in relationship to this growing part of her life. And that you're aware that there's a lot of stuff out there on the internet. Google opens up a lot. And so the more and more you can be aware that she does have access to anything she can think to Google, or any link anyone could send to her, that it be a place where you be open to having those conversations. You talk about what's out there on the internet. You talk about how to create boundaries and safety, and why it actually is important that you as a parent be involved with teaching her how to use the internet, and how to use it in a way that's developmentally appropriate and safe and healthy for her, because it's a wide world out there.
It is.
The World Wide Web.
Yeah, our daughters need our not hovering, but just our presence, our wisdom. We need to have their backs here.
Yeah, and it's part of her life, right? So if she's out and about in her day-to-day life, and you're present there, this is a part of her life too, and your presence is needed.
You got this, Mom. So now over to you, Mom. Do you want to find your people? I know you do. The mothering and daughtering tribe of moms, the collective wisdom totally rocks. And we want your take on this. So share your take.
So what we want to know is this. How are you finding that balance between the ever-present technology, connection, communication, and how are you balancing that with other kinds of authentic connection, where we're actually being present with each other? How's the balancing act going in your life, and where are you setting boundaries?
And so head over to the blog and tell us how you are setting boundaries. What's going on with you with this in the comments section below.
Did this video help you? Share the love on Facebook or tweet it out.
Yeah, whatever platform you can wrap your head around.
Because sharing is caring, and everyone could use a stronger bond.
So, remember, Mom, when you're doubting yourself, I want to remind you, you so have got this. You've got this. It just takes practice. It comes naturally to thrive and not just survive during the preteen and teen years and beyond.
And we'll see you the week after next on We Thrive TV.
We're looking forward to seeing you then.